Shalom, like to say all praises due unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, of whom I learned this truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect. Alright, and my name's Connor Walk from GMS Toronto, doing a quick lesson. This is just in regards to Canada Day. Canada Day. Like today is like Canada Day. And Canada Day was established, I think, in basically over 100 years, right? So this is like this is very new. Hold on, I'm gonna put Canada Day because Canada Day, Canada Day. Okay, Canada Day. When was Canada established? Yeah, July 1st, 1867. So over 100 and some odd years. All right, so this is Canada is very a fairly new. It was colonized by the English. All right, and this land has a lot of blood. All right, because the original inhabitants of this land are the so-called natives. All right, which they're really the tribe of Gad, Reuben. All right, Issachar. But Canada was basically mostly Gad. All right, in this region. And if you watch that documentary, the 500 nations, it goes into that of the tribes that was here throughout the America, the continent of North America. All right, is where our people were scattered, right, from North, Central, South America, the Caribbean. All right, the tribes was already here. All right, so this land has a lot of blood and a lot of crimes to pay for, right? And these are crimes that Yahushai, the Heavenly Father, and His Son of God, of the King James Bible, He's gonna execute judgment, right? Thus saith the Bible, right? Because the Bible is supposed to be the supremacy of the land, right, in Canada. All right, but now now that supremacy of the land is gone out the window, man. These people are doing what they want to do. All right, and they're not the real inhabitants, of the Holy Land or of the laws, right? All right. This is just a quick precept. This is Numbers 35 verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it, right? And that's what it is, right? Because this was a law of Moses, all right, as to how to treat the land, right? And this land has been polluted because the original inhabitants of this land, all right, is the tribe of Gad. All right. So for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed. And not just Canada, America too. All right. There's been many wars in the Americas. All right. There's been I remember watching a video of the apostles. They were going into the history of America. America's never been at rest, man. All right, for hundreds of years, with the tribe of Gad, Reuben, and stuff, like they were basically they were at war against the white man. All right, and there's still all kind of wars in America and Canada, a lot of covert wars. All right, so this land is gonna be certain parts of this land of this Canada or whatever. Who knows? But I know America is gonna be completely wiped out. Like thus saith the scriptures, because we're living in a time where there's nuclear, or not even yeah, there's basically like nuclear war. All right, I think a couple days ago I was watching a video with about what do you call Prime Minister Putin, or Putin. All right, he was talking about basically like destroying America, like basically, right? So there's a lot of things in the air, man. This is just get Genesis 49 verse 1. Genesis 49 verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. And this is Jacob. All right, he was bestowing these blessings unto his sons, right? And unto the tribes, right? And we're living in these days right now, right? And the elder high priest Arya, all right, he's the one who who went into the tribes, all right. He did his research, and the spirit of the Lord was upon him, all right. And and he shows who the tribes were: Judah, the so-called Negroes; Benjamin, the so-called West Indians; the Levites, the so-called Haitians. He did his own research and things, and you know, and it's by faith, as to who these tribes were. And it's Ezekiel 37. I get that as well. It says, gather yourselves together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hear and hearken unto Israel your father. Verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last, right? And the tribe Gad, all right, is referring to the so-called Native Americans, right? Which is and it says overcome him, but he shall overcome him at the last. That's basically referring to the Royal Ontario Police, and also the what do you call them? The Mounties, and the American American cavalry, all right, who took war, all right, on this land of Canada and America, all right. And they wreaked havoc, and they're still murdering our people, the women and the men, all right. A lot of missing men, women, all right. So there's a lot of blood, that will be accounted for, that when the Lord comes. All right. You find there's Ezekiel 37, and then another precept, and I'm gonna close. All right. It's just Ezekiel 37, and I start at 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me. Right. This is the prophet Ezekiel. All right. During the Babylonian captivity. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and cried me out of the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were dry, right? And that's why we're living in Psalms. When you go in Psalms 23, the valley of death, right? We're living in the valley of death, all right. But we're living, right? Because we know who we are. We have the spirit of the Heavenly Father and His Son Yahweh Shai, that's being raised upon us and sustain us day by day, right? All right, because we're in the valley of death, all right. And I think Roman or Revelation 11. It says their dead bodies shall be seen. Let me just get Revelation 11, and I'm gonna go back to Ezekiel, because yeah, we're living in these things, man. We're in the valley of the dry bones. All right, Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? All right, and Sodom and Egypt is referring to America, right? And when you go into if you go into Deuteronomy like 28, you get that Deuteronomy 28. All right, for you newer members, Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. Deuteronomy 28. Let me highlight this. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, but it said, by the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Right? When you go into, if you look at the dollar bill, American dollar bill has the Egypt, has the pyramid. All right, the all-seeing eye represents Horus. All right, and all that stuff, right? And we're with the American, the Washington D.C. monument, right, with the pyramid, which is a phallic symbol, just a penis, all that stuff with that Egyptian type of mentality, that these people are actually practicing the Egyptian and like the Babylonian like mystery type teachings, right? Like that's what these people are actually practicing. All right, Babylonian / Egyptian on the practices, right? And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. All right, and that's referring to us, right, being sold into slave ships, right? With with basically cargo slave ships. Our people were sold, all right, through called the transatlantic slave trade, all right, and we were sold, right, from Europe, from all over, right? There's a transatlantic slave trade from from England, certain parts of Europe, Spain, Portugal, Scotland, Denmark, we're sold, to like to the Americas, to Brazil, to Jamaica, in the different islands. There was a transatlantic slave trade, right? And and we were like put down, we were brought low, for hundreds of years, for the past, basically from 1453, during what do you call it, the Ottoman Turks, right? And then 1492 during the Spanish Inquisition and all that stuff. Our people fleeing from the Spanish persecution, right? Because they call themselves they call themselves like Moranos, which they were converts, right? Because they like a lot of our people converted to the Catholicism, all right, and if our people didn't want to convert onto the Catholicism, our people were burned at the stake, murdered, burnt, raped, all that. So a lot of our people fled, and some of our people came to the Americas, set up like colonies, and had trade works. Right? So it's a lot of history. Let me just go back into Ezekiel 37 and 1. And cause me to pass by, Ezekiel 37:2, and cause me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. So we're living in that time now, all right? Because we're fleeing from persecution and all these stuff until we end up going to captivity. So right now we're dry, but the dry bones is being awakened, right? The elect. And he said unto me, Son of man, canst these bones live? And I answered, O the Lord power, thou knowest. And again he said unto me, Prophesy unto these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, behold, these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And yeah, so the breath is being lifted, so we're learning as to who we are, for the most, us, right? Like our camp, we were always going to the library, buying books. We're doing a lot of things now. Everything's more accessible. Like now, 2022, everybody has a smartphone. Everything's more accessible, so you don't even have to even go to no bookstore or nothing. Like you already have everything's pretty much online. PDFs. Before we had to buy and spend a lot of money for this information. Now it's more everything is more accessible, right? So this is a blessing, man, that we're able to still continue and edify the sheep. It said, Thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will bring breath to enter into you, and ye shall live, and I lay sinews upon you, and I will bring up flesh unto you, and cover your skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And like this is pretty much what I'm going to, referring to the high priest Arya, all right, in Harlem. All right, he's the one who who went into the sign, and he found out, as to who exactly the tribes were. All right. So Ezekiel 37 verse 16. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it, for Judah and for children of Israel, his companions. And it says, then take another stick and write upon it, for Joseph. Then take upon it and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for the house of Israel, his companion, right? So like basically that's why we're at camp, we have that sign, right? We're identifying who the tribes are, right? From the house of Judah, or Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and then going back to the Ephraimite, the tribe of Ephraim, going down to Issachar, the tribe of Issachar, right? All right. So that's why we have that now, right? And says and join them another into one stick, and they shall come one in thy hand, right? So that's why when we go out on the highways and byways, we always have that sign, all right, to identify the tribes. All right, when you edify when you're on the highways and you're edifying people, like you just tell them, let's say you're edifying somebody, and then you just tell them to look at the sign to see if they're on the sign, all right? that so to identify them, right? So says and when thou children of thy people shall speak unto thee, say, wilt thou not show us what thou means by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe of Israel his fellows, and I will put them with them, even him the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in thy hand. So yeah, so we're a big nation, man, from the tribe, so-called North American Indians, all right, going back down to the Mexicans, going back down to the the Colombians, and going back basically the whole, basically North America, South America, Central America is where our people were inhabited. We go into Second Esdras 13 verse 40, that goes into that history as well. Gonna close out with this one last scripture, and then because this history is vast, man, and it's not just 1, 2, 3, ABC 1, 2, 3. No, this is like this is our history, man. That was stolen from us, and and we're so like these people, man, they have like these people who are oppressing us, all right, with these foreign powers, right? Because these nations, they have taken like on the crafty counsel. I'm gonna get Psalms 83 as well. It says Psalms 55 verse Psalms 55 Psalms 55 verse 20. He hath put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him, and he hath broken his covenant, right? So these these Edomites, right, the wicked, all right, like they always been at odds, against against Judah, or not against Jacob, man. All right, and so these people have a lot of things to pay for, and that's why Malachi 1 talks about Edom, all right, and the Most High hates Edom, all right, like like Malachi 1 goes into that, right? So the words of his mouth were very smoother than butter. It said, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. So that's the hand of Esau, man. That's how he always like conquered our people, right? Because let's say if our people signed like a treaty and stuff, and they shook hands and whatever, and were actually fighting wars, because they had the tribes fighting wars against each other and stuff, but his words were soft, man, and and just deceived us, man, and slaughtered our people, man. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword. And that's why Esau's always been doing that, man. And this is tired, man. Like even now, like the apostle or the elect, like the elect is not trusting in this system, and because we know that he's a devil, man. The devil, he's the wicked is just these people have a lot of things to answer, man. Psalms 83 verse 3. I didn't even want to go with this long, but it's okay. Psalm 83 verse 1. A song or psalms of Isaac. Keep not thou silent, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. Behold, it says, be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have taken, they that have hate they that hate thee have lifted up thy head, right? So these United Nations, these NATO, these World Summit meetings and all G7 and all these summits that these people are doing, like their counsel is to keep our people down, and so that they have the power, because they already have the power, but they want to have complete control and domain, of the people and of your body, mind, body, soul, and spirit, man. And right now, like Yahweh Shai is laughing at this shit, man. It's because Psalms 2 and 1, it says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Because it's really a vain thing, right? Like, yeah, they want to have the complete dominion and power, and they want to be as gods and stuff, but that blessing is only referring to the sons of Jacob, man. The sons of Israel. It's not referring to these other nations, man. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And we're the hidden one, right? And mainly the elect, all right? Because our people are already gone, man. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, right? That's right, and like we're destroyed, man. All right, because they know exactly who the tribes are. All right, from the tribe of Judah all the way down to Issachar, they know exactly who the tribes are, where they inhabit. They know our DNA. When you go into the the God gene and all that, like they know everything, man. Like for like even to like like, basically, like even onto your DNA, like they know everything, man. So these people, these wicked, man, they have a lot of things to pay for, man. For they have consulted together with one consent, right? So all these other nations, right, from the United Nations, all these world summits and all these stuff, man, they have a lot of things to pay for, man. That they are confederate against thee, so they hate us, man. The tabernacles Edom, which is Esau, all right, the red man, all right, all right, the official red man, and the Ishmaelites, all right, the Arabs, and the Moabites with the Chinese, the Hagarenes, and like Gebal, and Amalek, the Hagarenes. I think was the Arabs, the sons of Hagar. Yeah, so the people, yeah, these are like the Palestinians, whatever. All right, I'm like Gabal and Ammon, which is uh, you know, then Ammon, which is is like the Japanese, and Amalek, right, which is the Edomites, right, over there in the land of Israel right now, and the Philistines, all right, the Philistine was original land of the Hamites, but the people in that land of Philistine of are Palestine right now, and Tyre, like Lebanese or like Lebanon, you know. Because the original inhabitants of that land were the Hamites, but people now in that land, Tyre, are those the Syrian them or the Arabs, whatever, ashore, the Assyrians also join with them. They have hoped the children a lot, right? Right, the children a lot, which are the basically of the seed of Moab and Ammon, right? And these people right now, the Chinese and whatever, the Chinese is is basically is helping the Russians at the moment, So it's like, this is everything that we're reading, we're living in it in real time, man. So we have to give thanks that we're awake. We want to still keep that light burning, And because we're in this, we're at the end of their empire, man. And this is gonna be the basically like it said that Jacob beginning of the world. It said Esau the end of the world, and Jacob's beginning of it in Second Ezra 6 verse I think 6 to 9. It goes into that. So with that, let us say all praise is due to Yahweh, Bashem, Rashai, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect. Shalom.